So I gotta get like closer to my mic because I can see your audio waves, but I can't really see mine. It picks it up pretty well though. And then obviously,
so obviously, it's just telling you like how loud I am right now.
Yeah. It's like sound waves.
Okay.
It's like hard to explain. You kind of just like got to get into the craft. But basically, like I don't know.
You know the level what it's picking up on.
It's
okay, it's picking it up.
I know where the natural like my natural voice fits.
Yeah.
I don't know where your natural voice fits, but I'll figure it out after like looking at the clip. I understand like the level at which most people want to listen to things at before like it starts to blow your eardrum out.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to adjust background noise, just like a bunch of stuff like that. Cool. All right. What up, fans? Welcome to Stories with Sid. I'm here with my boy Koosh, also known as Reggie. Say what up.
Also known as Andre.
Andre was one too.
It's a new white name. That's my current white name.
It's your current white name, bro.
Current Starbucks name.
All right.
Although there's no Starbucks to go to, but yeah.
All right. So I mean, guess let's start with that story, bro. Start with it's like growing up, like your name was Akash. It's probably difficult to pronounce, right? So what, you just came up with like a moniker? So people.
It wasn't even that like I came up with it in elementary school or anything. Honest to God, I went to Starbucks so much, having to say Akash. I'd said Aaron at some point. They would spell it ERIN. That pissed me off. I'm like, let me come up with a name that like you can't mess up.
Yeah.
I said Reggie. People still started messing that up.
How you mess up Reggie with like two J's? RAJJI?
How do you mess up Aaron? You're looking at a dude that still spell it ERIN. Like, I don't know.
I got an aunt named Aaron though. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, either way, I got over it. I'm like, fuck. At least Andre has an A in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel weird to me, but dude, I've had to use a different name for so many instances that like I actually respond to these names. Right. I mean, you call me Koosh. That's not my. Where's that?
That's kind of like Buddy, bro. Like his real name's Caden, but like nobody.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody actually calls him Caden. Actually, his friends call him Caden, but like we all call him Buddy.
I forgot that his name was Caden until right now. This is Buddy.
100%. So before we came over here, I was actually going for a run, dude, and there was this mom, and I don't know why, but she was running the opposite way. So we're like running like this, and then we did that thing where social distancing is going on, so we avoided each other, whatever.
Made a little circle.
And like as we avoided each other, she like looked over at me and she's like, and I was like,
she knew,
and she's like 5'2", bro, and I was like, that was so fucking weird. And it made me realize that I've never had like positive re-encouragement from like an older lady in my life, bro, because my mom was just always just not the positive fucking re-encouraging type, bro. So like I was like that was weird. I don't know if I like that lady.
Yeah. Was she kind of positive reinforce you on like, hey, thanks for fucking off 6 feet, or is it like,
I don't know what. I don't know what.
Like your tattoo. Like
I don't know, bro.
2 thumbs up can mean so many.
I had a full like sweatshirt on, like a beanie and stuff. Like I look like I bag trash cans. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think it was that, bro. That would have been dope, but I just don't think that's what it was.
Speaking of your run, when I call you, it was 4:40. You're like, yeah, I'll be gone 15, 20 minutes. So like I'm like, it'll take me longer than that to get there. I'm like, I'm gonna calculate that. I'll get there 5:30, thinking you should be done on time. I get there, you're still 15 minutes late, and even your parents are like laughing. I'm like, dude, I showed up at 5:30 expecting you to be like
ready,
just somewhat late, no worries. Another 15 minutes,
dude. So I went for a run, man, and like like lately I've been in this kind of like zone where I'm in like I think everybody's in it. We're in like a depression hole, you know what I'm saying, where we're like feeling like really like locked in and closed up, and it's hard to get things going and get things started. Yeah. So I told myself I was going to go for a run just to kind of like get those endorphins up, just to get in a better state of mind, just to start to feel better. And as I started to run, I was like, man, I'm feeling good. I want to feel more of this. Yeah. Right? So like I literally ran up to like, the corner I turned my house. Yeah. I ran up that entire hill, and I was like, fuck it, I'm running up the entire hill. And then once I ran up the entire hill, it was kind of like, all right, well, I have to go run back now. I can't just like Uber home. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just had to go. I had to go back. Luckily, it was downhill, so it was easier. Yeah. But I think that's like a big thing that I've been trying to focus on lately, is just like whatever makes you feel good and whatever is like feeding you, like do more of that. Eat more of that.
Yeah. For sure.
Cool,
How
bro.
often? When did you start going on runs?
Start going on runs?
Yeah. I feel like it was
man.
always just weightlifting.
No. So it was always. I never weightlifted either, bro. Really, you know what I'm saying? Like it was always sports, and then after school ended and I stopped playing like organized sports, it first started to get. Actually, it's crazy how like weightlifting kind of came up. So when I was working at Kraft, right? I was in the job and I was working every day till like 6. I'd get out at like 5-6 early because I couldn't do anything, and they didn't want to take the risk of actually giving me any work because they thought I was just like helpless. So I would go home after sitting in the office for 9-10 hours doing nothing, and I was pissed. I was angry. So I had this like small little gym in my studio apartment. Do you ever see my studio apartment?
Dog, I went there.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. Hazy. My B, man. My B, fans. My B. So I had this small little gym in like the studio apartment, and like the max weight they had was like 50-pound dumbbells. Mm-hmm. And I would just like eventually like I would just start doing 10, and then I would do 20, then 30 of just like whatever exercise it was, and I just started doing that. And that was like the way that I could make myself feel good after just sitting in the desk doing nothing and staring at a screen for like 6, 7, 8 hours. Eventually I started to do more work, but like that's kind of like what triggered it, where it's like, all right, so it became almost like therapy for me, where whenever I'm feeling bad or when I'm feeling down, you know what I'm saying, I can just go do that and go weightlift. But that's generally what happens during like Chicago winter when it's 2 degrees outside, right? When it got warm, if you're lucky, bro. When it got warm, it was kind of like, man, it's a nice day out. I kind of just want to like run to the park and kick it with the dogs who are there, right? So I just like would jog to the park, and then after I came home, I'd sit just in the apartment, just like, man, I feel really good. And the next day I would do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then eventually it's just like, man, I just got a mile under my belt. Let me see if I get a mile and a half. Let me see if I can get 2 miles. Let me see if I get 3 miles, right? And progressively, like the more pain and the more work you put in, the bigger and the bigger the highs started to become, you know? Yeah. So it's like it just became addicted to like that, and I'm trying to just get back into it. Yeah. Because the sun's always out. You know?
I know. That's great.
Cool. So let's take it back, and let's talk about how we met, bro.
Never forget.
You never forget. All right, because I forgot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So.
I didn't forget.
I didn't forget. Yeah, dude. 7th grade spring break. My parents were taking me and Jeff Curtis out to Vegas, and you were going with the Baileys for Jake's basketball tournament.
Was that Vegas. What it was?
Yeah,
just
you
randomly.
went with Christian Bailey and the Baileys. Yeah. Like you didn't go with family, and then me and Jeff Curtis went with my family.
Right.
Our first night there, we stayed. I didn't know where it was at the time. I thought it was close to the Strip, but we stayed at the Ritz-Carlton night 1. It was 30 miles off the Strip, and I'm pissed.
Oh, word?
Like. There's not that much.
Are you just up there just to be up there?
My dad like had some hook out there, so we got there. Like we went there. Yeah, okay. We went out there for spring break.
Okay.
Why he booked that, I don't know. It was me, my mom, Jeff Curtis, and my dad. 30 minutes away, he said like, all right, whatever, like go meet your friends in the city. I think they drove actually out, and we were meeting at, I believe it was New York, the one with the roller coaster, because I was in touch with Christian. And we go to the arcade. Not much to do when you're under 21.
Dude, that was the shit though, man. I remember going to Vegas like a lot when I was a kid for basketball, for football tournaments, whatever it was. Like New York, like the roller coaster, like $30 for one ride, and like all like the games, man. I was all about that, bro. So was my pops.
Sure,
my pops was there too. He wasn't drinking.
You enjoyed it in the arcade. So I'm trying to meet up with Christian, and I walk by.
How are you two boys? How did you guys become boys?
Me and
Was
Christian?
It just
School.
We're just we're just homies.
And we lived near each other. He lived right down the street from Jeff Curtis too at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's pretty friendly in San Clemente. Like I was good friends with like everyone. But I just knew Christian was out in Vegas that weekend, so obviously we're gonna try and link up. So I'm going past the arcade trying to find him, and I spot this dude, same age looking as me. 3 chicks around him on this like car race game or whatever. Finally meet up with Christian.
Backwards cap.
Backwards cap. Almost exactly like what you're looking like now. Meet up with Christian, and he's like, "Oh, come meet my friend Sid." And for the life of me, I thought it was a girl.
Come on, man. He ain't got a game like that. He don't play like that.
I meant, yeah, we walk over to some car arcade game, and it was the same kid that I walked by thinking like, oh, what a douche, being a little salty maybe, and it was you. But yeah, dude, that is how we met. I thought that entire trip, I'm not kidding, when we came back, I was gassing you up like, dude, this kid, the funniest kid I ever met.
Yeah.
I literally just wanted like my friends to see how funny of a friend I had.
Yeah.
And I mean, you came down to San Clemente one day, and then
I was killing it for a while, man. Like I was, and the thing is I think comedy is difficult when you actually try to be funny is when you get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're just like yourself and people just naturally think you're funny, that's crazy. So like for me, like I'm sitting on the other side of that. You guys all thought I was super funny. I was just like, dude, this is kind of just how I think. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize it until like after like taking it back and like watching my dad. Like obviously everybody thinks my dad's super funny, right? But we grew up with him. So it's like, oh, dad jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the same kind of situation where it's just like, oh shit, maybe it's just in the blood. You're an only child.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what it's like growing up with like out any siblings, man.
Growing up, it was sick.
Were you born in San Clemente and you lived there your whole life? Or were you born at?
Grew up born in Fountain Valley. Spent the first 6 years or 7 years in Foothill Ranch, which is like a little past Lake Forest.
Yeah.
And then moved to San Clemente because my mom wanted a ocean view.
Didn't get that.
We have a very tiny sliver. If you look, squint your eyes and look in the distance. we have a big ass tree that grew.
Your pops is like, that's enough.
That's yeah, exactly.
That's enough. Be happy. Be grateful. That's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it made his commute like another 30 minutes long to work.
So for real? So he's pissed. He's like, "It's what you get. It's what you get. Don't complain."
I mean, great house now, but yeah. So growing up, I got all the hugs and attention I ever wanted. You know, like that part was cool. I got the things when things were like really sick.
Yeah.
You know, and then growing up now, like ever since I was like 18 or whatever, I knew that like being an only child sucks ass, dude. Like I have like you guys who I would consider brothers,
yeah,
but it's still different than having like a blood brother that or sister or whatever that just kind of knows without like having to say anything. And that to me is a huge like negative in my life now. But me knowing that like I would never only have one kid.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pump out 2 or 3.
I'm only trying to have one, bro. To be honest,
I truly think it's like one of the most cruel things to do.
To your kid, maybe, yeah.
I think having
a kid in general is pretty selfish as is. Though.
I would agree. That's just like a biological need or whatever. But yeah, it's selfish for us to think the kid wants to be alive. So
that's two things I want to talk about. One, I completely understand what you're saying in terms of like not having like another sibling who you kind of grown up with, who like has similar experiences, but also just like kind of has the same genetics as you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, for example, when I see like my older brother or like my younger sister, my younger brother, one thing that's really cool is every single success that they have, it almost feels like it's my success. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, damn, like my genes accomplished that, you know? Like I can do that too, right? Like when buddy's like dominating on the track, it's just like, damn, bro, I was a few recessive genes off
from being sick.
Yeah, from
being
balling.
Sick.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's in me.
Right,
it's in me.
Right.
That's dope. That's dope. You know. So it's cool to see like the different variations like within your siblings, but each one of you has like a certain skill set and a certain strength that the other doesn't. You know, but it's also like you're collective. You're part of a family too. You know.
So that's what it is. It's a family. Mm-hmm. But I mean, obviously, I had no say in the matter, and also it's not like they didn't try.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't resent them, you know, fuck, you know, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, again, if you like super into things, you'll get the most amount of things. But like I miss that like just kind of a connection that like I see in other families that you know they have.
Well, like describe it to me, bro, because I know what it feels like, but it's just like my mom's an only child, and yeah. Oh man, fuck. My mom's an only child. I just realized that. And like one thing that she talks about all the time is like how much we fight. Like I never really say like, man, I never really heard her say, man, I wish I had siblings. All she says is like, man, why you guys always fighting? Like I don't understand why you guys are fighting. And I'm just like, Mom, you don't get it, you know?
Right. But you guys learn how to like deal with situations with other people early.
Okay.
For me, like I don't really get into like tiffs because I don't fucking.
No, you're always cool, bro.
I'm always just
like
you
you
just
take that shit.
Exactly. Which sometimes I'm like, fuck, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to be angry and fucking and fight. You know, whatever. It's just like I'm always. I don't.
Because you don't know how to respond.
I don't know.
To it,
yeah, I don't know how to respond.
You haven't practiced.
Like, exactly. Like I don't want to overreact to anything, and I also like it's just like weird to me. I don't.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
I feel, man.
I don't like confrontations.
Yeah.
When like if you like grow up with family, like it's just another one of those. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just part of it. Yeah.
Right. But also like knowing like you could get in a full on fist fight with Buddy, and then at the end of the day, you guys could hug, and it's like whatever you fought about was it was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, but like it took like that to be like, all right, whatever. Like that'd be cool for me.
I understand what you're saying in terms of like that aspect. That's more of Dylan and Buddy would fight a lot more. For me, I'm like an only child with siblings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just throwing out like for any example. You know, brother, sister, even like being protective.
Yeah.
You know, like that to me is like cool. Like obviously, if you have a little sister, even if you're younger, like you don't want to hear like jokes about your sister's hot.
Yeah, we gotta
shit,
fight.
You know,
we
like
gotta fight.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like the first one's free. The second one, we're fighting.
Yeah, and that's
and
that's just like a instinct. You know, like you weren't born thinking that. It's just you grew up being like, okay,
yeah, I gotta
defend this person.
I feel so. There's just certain like emotions and certain feelings that you didn't get the opportunity to experience.
Correct.
Okay.
It just. I mean, everyone. You know, there's things people miss out on all the time. That to me was just like I thought about after certain things happened that I'm like, damn, that would have been cool. But obviously I didn't like really think about it until I was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
When it was like there might have been things I wanted to like
discuss,
share, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, I feel, man.
But yeah, again, no control over mine, so it's not like
so let's talk about like having kids and like how that's like a selfish thing. Cause it's something that I think about a lot. Where my dad's kind of at the age now where he's really like pushing us to have kids. My older brother actually just has one expecting right now, and he's 31. But my dad was like really like, man, I want grandkids. And for me, it was kind of like, man, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been having the conversation a lot with both my mom and dad. Like, why do you have kids when you've experienced the world? Like, the world is a hostile place.
Absolutely.
There's good that comes in it, but there's also a lot of shit that comes in it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of bad that comes in it. So knowing that you're bringing a child into the world who's going to experience a lot of pain, right? It almost feels inhumane to me to do it.
See, I look at it from like, I understand the argument, kids are hope.
Yeah.
But also a child has feelings and whatever, like, but they don't have the choice of like being offered like, hey, this is what you could experience, this is what's out there. Do you want to enter? They don't have that choice, which
that we know of.
That we know of, sure. But at the end, like, you can't possibly like ask that question, right? So you have to make the judgment of like, what do we want? We want a kid. You don't know what that kid wants. That to me is the selfish part of like not, allowing that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there are all these fucking things, and I understand the kids are hope, but like you kick it out like a total piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, fuck. Like, I'm glad we did that. I don't know. Like,
the second piece of it too is like insecurity, man. Like one thing I talk about a lot is let's say you have an insecurity in you, right? And you have a kid, or there's something in your life that you wanted to do that you couldn't do.
Yeah.
And then you have a kid, right? And then you're like, yo, you're gonna do this thing, right? Or that insecurity that I have in me, I'm going to beat out of you.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's one thing that I consciously think about a lot, where it's like, damn, man, if this kid gets 50% of the crazy that I have in him, that kid's in trouble, man. I'm not gonna put that like evil on him. You know what I'm saying? And if I bring a kid into the world, like, I'm not gonna be the type of dad who's like, oh yeah, do what you want. It's gonna be like, yo, motherfucker, wake your ass up, get in that gym.
That to me, seems way more like, I'm way more cool with that than the people that are just like, oh yeah, be a free spirit, like, figure out what you want to do and like focus on that. It's like, no, do this.
Well, it depends on the kid though, right? You know what I'm saying? Because
like some respond well, some rebel and whatever. But I only think of wake your ass up and fucking do this.
Yeah.
It's just, I want you to be sick of golf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you fucking hit balls.
What if that kid fucking hates that shit?
Exactly. That I have no idea. But I'm hoping that sucks.
You're rolling dice, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks, dude. But again, it is rolling dice. I like to gamble, so I mean, I want kids.
But you can't. Can you tell me definitively like why? Like, yo, this is the reason.
Yes, because me getting Dexter, my dog.
Okay.
100%. One is because I always wanted a dog. Every Christmas from when I was fucking early, like young. I was like, I want a dog. They're like, no, I want a TV. They're like, you'll never get a TV in your room. Kept asking for those two things for.
So I guess you don't get everything as an only kid.
For 12, I mean, a dog would, and respectively, they were like, if we got you a dog, you wouldn't take care of it. My dad thinks he's allergic. Bullshit. He just likes to think that. And my mom just doesn't like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But a TV, they're like, you'll never have a TV in your room. By the time I was 12, asked for the same two things, got a TV put up in my room. At that moment, I'm like, I'm never getting a dog.
Oh, you knew?
I knew. So my mom passes away, and 6 days later, I'm just going through all this, like, what if I wanted that I went through this, like, I could die tomorrow, like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
One of them was a dog. I had no faith in myself because I was, like, sleeping in all the time. Like, I didn't, I was just all messed up. But one of the reasons I'm like, I just want to see if I can do this.
Yeah.
I got a 10-week-old puppy, raised that thing.
And he's an asshole, bro. That dog is an asshole.
He's an asshole to people. He's not even an asshole. He just
doesn't.
He doesn't love everybody.
He doesn't fuck with anybody. He doesn't love anybody, bro. Only
me.
He likes you.
Except me, and I'm so happy.
Because you feed him, bro. Stop feeding him. See if he still fucks with you.
Oh, he would. I have all the faith in the world, dude. But I mean, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm watching YouTube videos how to train this thing, and I figured it out. I love him. He loves me, and that's in my eyes. That's all that needs to like translate into having a kid.
Having a kid.
I'm rolling the dice.
You went through the test experiment
with one puppy. For a while though, like the first 8 months, I'm like tired of shit all the time. I'm like telling my aunts like, if you ever want to teach your kids abstinence, give them a fucking puppy and tell them to raise it. Like then you won't want kids.
Yeah.
But now he's old, and I'm like stoked that I did that.
Okay.
And I'm just using that experience to be like, I'm gonna give kids
a training ground.
I'm gonna give kids a shot. I know it's selfish or rolling the dice or whatever, but like I want to do it.
One thing that I think about too is, and I had this argument with my pops, is you make your kid do all the things that you didn't get to do, so you could relive your life through him.
Yeah.
Right. And my dad was like, no, you just give him the opportunity to do that. And I'm like, oh really, bro? I was like, what did you make me do? He's like, I made you play football. I'm like, why? And he's like, because I didn't get to play football when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I mean, you do the same thing I do. Is you're already referring to your future kid as a him. For me, I do that all the time.
I thought about it already. Like I'd much rather have a girl, to be honest, dude.
Really?
Yeah, like not even close. Just because like obviously I know there's like a lot of shit that comes with it.
A lot of shit.
But for me, like having like the extra set of testosterone in my crib, it's just a cocktail of nightmare, bro. There's too much. There's gonna be too much alpha in that crib, or he's gonna come out. He's gonna be beta as hell, and I'm gonna hate him. So I'd rather just be a girl.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have boys.
Whatever, man. Then they're gonna play soccer, and they're gonna be fucking soccer stars, and they're gonna get shipped overseas. And they're gonna be fucking dope in boarding school.
They're gonna become men at early age, and then have an opportunity to make way more money than any of us could here.
They're gonna hate their childhood, but they're gonna have a dope life after.
Right. I mean, look at Ronaldo. He's swimming in anything. Everything.
Kid's winning.
Yeah.
Man's winning.
Yeah. Sick.
Let's move forward then. Let's talk about your mom's then, huh?
Okay.
So what I want to talk about first is my grandma actually has cancer. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
So my grandma's got cancer, and I saw her a couple days ago, and I want to mention two things. The first thing is obviously like I'm doing like the podcast now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do comedy. I'm trying to do acting. I'm trying to do like directing and writing and all that stuff, right? And I remember I like texted my mom. I was like, Mom, I hate my job. I'm going to do comedy. And then my mom was like, okay, is this like a phase or like, should I go with this? And I was like, Mom, I'm doing it. She's like, all right, well, I have an old friend who does comedy, who's actually going to be in Chicago like 2 weeks from now. Go see her show. And I went and I saw her show, and she was cheeks. Fucking terrible, bro. I was like, damn, this show is garbage.
Tell whether you or nobody in the room was laughing.
Nobody in the room was laughing. She was like the fat black lady, and then she spent her whole set making fun of herself So I felt really weird about it. I was like, damn, man, like obviously you're confident and able to do that, but at the same time I can kind of hear the pain in your jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's almost like I don't really want to laugh at you because like you're just making yourself an easy target and making it okay for me to laugh at you. That's not funny. It's kind of like hurtful and painful.
Yeah.
In like a weird fucked up way, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the point.
But I mean, a lot of people use stand-up comedy as their way of like venting. So like for her, like that was just getting her like way of, you know, like
connecting.
She recognizes that she is those things.
Yeah.
And, you know.
But why not change them though?
That's for her to decide. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously she probably, I don't know if she knew it was funny or not, but that seems more that she was venting more than anything.
Yeah, yeah.
She's just making fun of herself the entire time.
The entire time, bro.
Yeah,
it was like, man, this is tough,
yeah,
bro. It's tough to fucking watch. Like, are you okay? Like,
right.
You need a hug?
Right.
You know, like,
maybe she did.
Yeah.
She was waiting for
so
his mom Steph to fucking give her a hug.
So my mom wasn't there, but it was me there, and I was in the back. I actually snuck in, which was dope. When you're little, you can get away with shit like that, bro. It's like, oh, hey, man, like, and you just smile. Smiling gets you past a lot of doors, I swear. So she's in the back after the show, like hanging out, like signing autographs or whatever it is. She's got like a small following or whatever. And I went up to her and I was like, hey, man, like I'm trying to get into comedy. I'm trying to get into writing. I'm trying to get into things. Like, how do I do it? And she told me something that I'll never forget. So I'm actually glad I showed up. The set wasn't great, but the advice she gave me was fantastic, bro. Like I was like asking her like, all right, where can I get the books? Where can I like write? Where can I like understand how to do this? Blah, blah. And like asking her these like super, super deep questions. And she was like, dude, just get on the stage. And she's like, you'll know immediately if you want to continue to do it. That simple, right? Just get on the stage. Now, the reason I say that is I just saw my grandma a couple of days ago. I'm just riffing, just talking with my grandma. And Buddy's been surfing now. My little brother's been surfing now.
Yeah.
And at least until they close the beaches now, right?
Yeah.
My grandma is a fucking nasty surfer. Well, she was just an absolute nasty surfer. That's like all she did was like for like 15, 20, 30 years was just surf. Would just shred it up, bro. Just smoke fucking pot, drink coffee, and just shred. Yeah, just fucking shred, bro. And she was like legit at it. Like it was the secretary by day or some shit, and then would just shred. Shred in the morning and shred in the afternoon. And she was basically just describing her experiences and talking about like how she started to like go through the process and what Buddy should do and stuff. And then she's like, you know what? Realistically, he just needs to get on the board, right? So it's like this. And I've heard it multiple times now. But that's really something like anybody who's trying to start something or wants to be something. That's realistically the best advice that I can give, and that's the best advice that I've heard for like a minute now. Is just like start some shit. Just go do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you ever had like advice, like a story about that, or like?
No.
All right, good chat. Good chat. No, I just thought that was important to like share.
No, I mean, look at what's in fucking front of us. You know?
Yeah.
Like this started
I'm doing
from,
it.
Yeah. This is you doing it. You bought this shit and you got
it
rolling. Yeah.
But like I think that's just like the best advice you can give somebody is just like just do it, just start. You know?
Yeah.
And the second thing I want to talk about, because you've had a similar experience with this, where your mom had cancer. What kind of cancer she have?
She had stage 4 lung cancer.
Stage 4 lung cancer. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a fucking death sentence.
Non-smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my grandma's got stage 4 ovarian cancer. No, sorry, stage 4 uterine cancer.
Okay.
You can get that shit, right?
I have no idea.
It's one of the two, bro. It's one of the two.
Okay.
Somewhere in her stomach or some shit. And once again, a couple of days ago, I was talking to her, and like one of the things that she was saying to me is like she's like on steroids right now, and she's like smoking weed, and she's taking all these like morphine pills and like whatever it is, man. And she's like, I just want to feel normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to get back to feeling normal. How often, like, and have you felt like this where it's just like in your life you feel normal but you don't feel good enough and you're like trying to like overexert yourself or like push the next level or like keep chasing these highs, right? And here, meanwhile, you got people who are on the other side who are just like, fuck, man, if I could feel normal for a day, it would be a good ass day for me, man. I
mean, there's so many. It's so weird with like any disease, illness, or whatever it is. Like normal is so many different things. Because there's physically normal.
Yeah.
That's definitely, obviously, anybody who's physically, like, ill or whatever wants to feel physically normal. But anytime someone gets, like, a diagnosis like that, like, you're never looked at the same. There's always this, like, pity. And it's not like you can't feel that pity. everywhere. It's like almost it. Even if it's not like happening, you just feel like all eyes are on you. That like something is like it's like this bubble of like.
Oh
pit.
shit! Yeah.
It's like you just want.
I'm the same dude.
You just want exactly like I'm dealing with this thing.
Yeah.
But don't treat me like
I'm a child.
Like baby me or anything.
Yeah.
Like
Don't let me win the fucking board game.
Correct. Like just it's like, and that to me like I feel terrible about because it is like this force field around you where it's just like pity, and I mean your grandma probably wants to feel physically normal because she likes to do like certain things, but there's also like different forms of like I'm sure that she would wish is she might not even like feel it.
Well, she can't really leave the crib, but I'm definitely sure she gets like at least some of it. Like she didn't get no pity from me. I was like, Grandma, suck it up.
Right.
You being fucking soft.
I'm sure she appreciates that, right? Yeah. Nobody treating her differently, unless you're super nice to her before and then you're
nah. So always been
exactly.
I told her she's gonna add cancer survivor to the resume, bro.
Perfect.
So here's what's crazy, man. They did a study where they went to like a bunch of different hospitals and they took sample sizes of 100. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the final results came out where they took 100 cancer patients. Of those 100 cancer patients, 18 of them were depressed. Of the 18 depressed cancer patients, 17 of them died, right? And of the 100 cancer patients, only 33 died. So literally, there's a 1/3 chance that you die of cancer, right? But there's close to 100% chance that you die if you're depressed and have cancer.
You have no hope.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for me personally, like dealing with that, hope was like a word I latched onto just because like it was like
you got a yad on the arm, right?
It's the only tattoo I have. Like it was just like such a weird thing because like I just felt if you're gonna be pessimistic about it, and like I was realistic about it.
Well, let's do it like this. Let's start. When did you take me through the day when you actually found out that it happened?
So
when she had cancer.
So I was 17 years old. It was like sometime in August, beginning of
senior
August.
Year?
Going into senior year. So we had.
Oh, it was before I showed up. She had cancer the whole time?
It was like right before you showed up because we had football. So you might have actually been there.
No, I didn't show up till second week of school.
You weren't practicing with us until game like 6?
Yeah, dude. No. Till no.
We had 2 games before school even started. No,
you had 1 game before. You had 2 games. I showed up for the 3rd game. I literally showed up Tuesday practice and was playing Saturday.
Oh, that's wild.
That's lit.
Wow, they really shiested the fucking system to get you down there.
That's fucking dope.
That's crazy. But so we had like football and stuff going on, and like I remember like my mom saying she had a bad cough, but like growing up, any single time like I had a cough, it was like go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So anytime like I hear that and it was like bad that I just neglected that, like, oh, she had a cough, I'm like, you have a common cold. But she told me that, and then I guess they like got it checked out, got an X-ray on her chest, and went to go see somebody. So they found out like my parents' uncle, I don't know who else, but it was like a random like Tuesday after practice or something. They sat me down and they were like, hey, my uncle sat me down actually.
The fuck, why?
I don't know.
Is your mom's brother?
They were all there, but he was the one that told me.
He's the strongest?
I guess.
Yeah. Is he like the leader?
He's sick.
Okay,
yeah.
He's the guy?
Yeah, he's the guy. He's for sure. Yeah, he's sick.
All
he's
right.
like super stubborn and shit, but he's sick.
But he's the guy, all right.
Yeah. So my parents are there obviously, and he's like telling me like, yeah, she has stage 4 lung cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about cancer at this point.
So you hear stage 4 lung cancer, and like, to be honest, in my mind, if I heard stage 4 lung cancer, I'm like, oh, that's good.
That means better.
That means she's got
stage
3,
1 is the bad one. Yeah.
She's got 3 stages to go. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, we good. What you complaining about?
That's actually like kind of like I'm like, oh, okay, like cool.
Yeah.
No problem. Like I can deal with that. I go upstairs, whip on my phone, go on Google like
WebMD.
How long? No, just Google like how long do people live with stage 4 lung cancer?
Yeah.
First like couple articles were like
2 months.
9 months.
Oh man.
My fucking heart sank, and at that time I was with my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, I didn't Google it then.
She was there with you?
Yeah. So I didn't tell her till after. So we planned on going to the mall. So we went to the mall, and it was at the Apple store that I Googled that.
Just randomly.
Yeah, and that's when I found out it was
so
9
it was like
months.
Couple weeks later, couple days later, couple months later?
No, it was that same day.
Same day.
Same day. We'd already planned on going to the mall.
So you're like, fuck it, mom's got stage 4 lung cancer, but I'm going to the mall to get some smoothies.
I thought it was good to stage 4. I'm like, I truly, when I say I had no idea, like, I'm thinking cancer survivor, like, okay,
Yeah.
add that to the resume, like, no problem. Apple Store, I'm like, all right, piqued my curiosity, like, let me check. I probably sound like such an asshole for this, but, like, Google it, see 9 months, and then, like, my whole, like, everything just, like, shut down.
And you in public.
I'm like, exactly.
That's not where you want to be when you find some news out like shit.
Oh my god! So
you're like, I need to go sit down. I need to go eat a fucking pretzel.
I'm just walking through the mall, like trying not to fucking bust out crying because I really don't want to tell my ex-girlfriend. At the time too, I'm just like having to fucking bottle this in. I'm like,
so she knows what something's out there.
I have no idea. I don't really remember her reaction. I was more
you're on your own shit. You're in shock.
And
you're
it's
in shock.
just me that cares that much, right?
Yeah,
that's where having a sibling is like.
Yeah,
it was just me. Obviously, my dad had a different role of care, like he cares a lot, but like
it's not like
it's
his
a
mom.
different. It's exactly his mom's still alive.
Yeah, his mom's around.
Yeah. So
he doesn't even know how to like console you. He's like, look, man, like,
I mean, growing up, like it was all we don't talk about feelings. We don't fucking. It was never been like that, and like that's genuinely how I think too. Like I would probably now looking at it say I'm emotionally immature, probably, but because I just deal with everything like a brick shit house.
Bottle that shit up.
I don't feel a need to like talk about it.
Ain't no fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly. And then people tell me like,
fucking we'll deal with that shit later.
Yeah, people tell me like, oh, you should probably like talk to somebody. I'm like,
I ain't talking to anybody.
What? Yeah,
fuck that.
I'm like, dude, that's just people are different, right? Like, how's that an issue? And I'm fucking. A bunch of thoughts are going through my head. It is in August, and graduation's in June.
Are you? What are you just like sitting on the bench or some shit? Graduation's next June.
Correct. So
You just sit on a bench in the mall.
I just kept walking.
You just kept walking around.
I bottled it up.
So now,
I bottled it up like a champ.
You're walking.
I'm just walking around the mall, like as if
denial. You're just denying it.
I mean, exactly.
Shit
it was the first
denial.
stage. Yeah. Like, okay. That's probably for people without medicine. 9 months, like some.
Yeah, you're like making excuses.
Some arrogant thing that like I probably came up with at 17.
Right.
She's fine. Stage 4, that was like stage 1. Like,
that was they wrote that article years ago.
100%. I'm just thinking. I'm in denial. Like it is what it is. I'm just walking around the mall. It hits me like when I look it up. It goes stages 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 months is our thing. I'm all.
Oh, there's not even a stage 5.
No.
Stage 4 is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and if you're a non-smoker, it's like, it means that there's some. I don't actually know, but like being a non-smoker and having it is like some weird fucked up like way. So she has it bad.
Yeah, because that's just
bad luck. It was like there's nothing like
you didn't fuck yourself. Yeah, you're just unlucky, bro.
100%. Which is also where I was like, went through a phase after she died. Like, you only live once, because I could.
Fuck it.
If I could, exactly. Yeah. Like I did so many things to my body. Like it was.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there, bro. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. So I mean, like that day was like gnarly, because also like I don't deal with emotions, but like I feel the need to cry. Yeah. But I'm not gonna cry, especially not fucking public
and not in front of your girl.
And not
Fuck your girl.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna see me cry.
Yeah, and I didn't. I probably told her about it like a day or two later when she was like, okay, what's wrong? And I'm like, maybe even more than a day or two, to be honest. I'm like, all right, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I also just like, I don't need you to talk to about it, Like
yeah.
I read up a bunch of stuff about it. So it's like, what are we going to do? I went into like a mode of like, okay, this is what you can do. And obviously my dad was already on that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I bottled everything up, went through life as if it wasn't affecting me, when it probably was, but I wouldn't admit it, I probably still wouldn't, that it was fucking me up.
So you just went home from the mall and you just chilled at home and like you just kept going about your business? Because I was here the whole fucking time, and I don't think I heard about it until college, bro. You know what I'm saying? I legitimately think I don't think you told me till college.
That whole year?
I don't even think you told me. I think I was kicking it with Breezy one day, and he's like, yeah, man, like his mom went to the hospital. I was like, his mom went to the hospital? I was like, for what? She got like a flu or something? He's like, no, dude, she's got cancer. And I was like, since when? He's like, since before senior year. And I was like,
yeah, August 2012 is when I found out.
I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, shows how deep our friendship runs.
I mean, don't be offended. I didn't even tell the person I was with for a week, like.
All right, man. All right, we back. So you didn't tell the girl, and you go home. You're big chilling. Then what?
I mean, I go about life. I made my like college essay or whatever in Mariani's class about it. She's like probably one of the first teachers that knew because of that essay. Pulled me aside, like,
"Hey, is everything
you okay?"
cool?
I'm like, "Yeah, it's all good." We had football, so that was eating up.
Your back is fucking broken.
Yeah, I mean, not for 6 weeks, so
Yeah.
7 weeks, whatever. So that was eating up a bunch of time. So I was like focused on that school, and then after that was all over, I fucking again just going through this like weird
denial.
Yeah, like
denial.
Yeah, like I don't know if I could have,
Were you like hanging out with her more, or?
I would say,
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like,
I would say less.
You hanging out with her less
because I was just like yourself? I felt again. It was like I couldn't get out of the. And going back to the only child thing. Yeah. A huge thing I realize now is like I'm very selfish. What's mine is mine, and like I'm like self-centered in like certain ways that I have to try to be like, reaching out and like thinking about other people, empathetic.
I've never noticed
that,
bro.
Huh?
I've never noticed that.
Like I have to try to be empathetic. Like I want to be empathetic, but it's like me being empathetic,
like
but also consciously doing it. But again, the whole pity thing. Like when I saw my mom, I just saw an expiration date almost, and it felt like I couldn't be around that because then I would actually feel sad when I was being a brick shithouse.
Bro, for real?
Yeah, which I definitely, looking back, like I haven't even like told anybody this. I wish
you just fucking told the world.
Yeah, I mean, I wish more than anything that I was like more open and like let myself cry with her and shit, and not like early on, not like at the end when like it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
But I didn't let myself like be open and feel like emotions and stuff because I wanted to be. She also wanted me to be strong, right? She was grooming this for the start. She's like, her first thing is like, when I die, I don't want you to cry.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a thing of like. And I took that very literally. I took it very literally.
Like very, very, like be strong.
Be strong. I took it very literally though. I'm like, don't cry. Like when and then I thought about it so rationally. I'm like, I'm not special. Like everyone goes through shit. Like this is just the shit that I'm going through.
Being soft.
Like I'm not. I don't want to be soft.
Yeah.
For thinking like but from trying to do that, I missed out on spending time with my mom because I felt.
You're distancing yourself.
Exactly.
You were like,
it wasn't even distancing myself from just her. I was becoming like going into like a shell of my own.
Yeah.
From the world. Part of me is still trying to break out of that shell, to be honest.
I feel that.
But yeah, I mean that to me still like doesn't
haunts you and still uses you.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck was I doing? I was also like 17 trying to be this fucking hard ass that like. Be a rock for my mom or whatever, but also like she was literally in groom mode of like post her. Yeah, she wouldn't let herself be in the moment of like stuff. She was almost
like, I got a year left. Let me go do some shit, or like let me like.
I mean, she didn't even look that up, and I mean, I did read 9 months, but we got, she had like experimental trials, and my aunt's an oncologist, so like she went to her all the time, so we did get an extra 4 years. Total 4 years.
Did she do anything? Like she
yeah, so we went.
Try to enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, like they were probably we went on a trip together and stuff like that. Like we still went out. Her and my dad went on like trips without me, which was like new. So like she still enjoyed it, but for me, I wasn't able to enjoy from that day that I was told. Honestly, I wasn't really able to enjoy her company until the end when she started being like real. And then just
because you were trying not to feel.
Correct.
So because you were trying not to feel and you were just bottling up all that pain, you're just like you almost caught like I don't want to feel any of these emotions. So instead of feeling these emotions, because every time you saw your mom, you felt those emotions.
I felt pity. It was like this.
So you're like, I need to remove her from the situation and just not be around her, bro.
Correct.
Damn, that's raw.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks now because now I still have these like memories, but it was like there could have been so much more if I had made it an effort.
Yeah.
Of letting myself be soft. Like that word soft, I looked at.
It's not even soft, man. It's just like.
It wouldn't have been.
Emotionally intelligent is what I call it.
And that's where I say like, I feel like I was emotionally immature at the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I've had emotional growth since then, but like, it should have been then.
Yeah.
I should have realized that
it
then.
It shouldn't have taken something so monumental and so earth shattering for you to be like,
damn.
You know what, bro?
Yeah.
It's cool not to just always be hard. You know
exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah, and that it just sucks though because I can't go back and I have to live with the fact that like I did that. So that I still like that part like kind of still haunts me, to be honest. But like,
bro, I remember I was 16 and I woke up like from an afternoon nap on a Sunday and like bawling my eyes out because my mom died in the dream.
I remember you told me this.
Yeah, and I literally went to my laundry room and I was like,
yeah,
and I just gave her a hug. I was like, I love you, Mom. And she's like, what are you crying about? Yeah. And I was like, I had a dream you died. She's like, you all right?
Yeah,
you being soft.
Keep going.
Yeah, you know, like
I'm going.
Chilling, bro. I'm chilling.
Not only that, like I remember you told me like there was a time like she told you like, I think it was the same story. She was like, so like you got to keep going.
Yeah,
like
100%. She's like, I expect that you would keep on. I expect that you would be strong for like your siblings and stuff. But that's just always been our relationship too. Is everybody who knows me knows definitely like I'm my mom's son.
Yeah,
like 100%.
Yeah,
and she raised me to where like for example like the chick running in the park today who gave me like the thumbs up like the mom. I was like man, this fucking mom giving me too much love. Yeah. That shit weird. You know, because I'm so used to my mom like literally like. If you come home and you're not getting A's and you're not balling on the field or you're not like taking care of whatever responsibilities that we're told that you need to be taken care of, you're not setting an example for your younger siblings, right? Then we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing all those things, that's the expectation.
Then you're doing your job.
Then you're doing your job, right?
You don't get a cookie for
what's
expected.
Yeah. Like you're showing up and you getting your paycheck. That's what you get. Yeah. You know? So that's something that actually like that doesn't almost say haunts me, but it's something that's built into me that I have to try to like overcome a little bit. Is like every time I have a success or every time I do something that's great, it never feels like it's great. Like graduating from college, I was just like,
whatever.
You know, getting into school at first was like, oh, it's dope, and then I was like, whatever.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like every time I come out with something, it's like, yeah, this is cool, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
you find it hard to enjoy your successes because of that
expectation. It's just the expectation.
Yeah.
And because of that shit keeps me up at night. Like I'll wake up at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning where it's just like, fuck, man, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Right. You know, expectations.
Yeah. But if you look at it, you know, macro, you're like, life's good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not.
Yeah. There's people in way worse situations, bro.
You know?
And that's where like seeing my grandma really put that in perspective, where it's just like, oh shit, you want to feel normal, and I'm out here trying to be extraordinary and try to excel, and I don't feel good because I'm not doing that. Man, let me check myself.
Right.
Let me put myself. Let me take a step back.
Just
and
breathe.
Like, yo, yeah. You know, like
breathe.
What are you doing, man?
Right.
Like you have your health. You can be grateful. Like you, bro. She can't walk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out here fucking running.
Yeah.
Running for miles.
Right.
And then like upset because I didn't get 3 miles.
More miles in.
You know how dumb that sounds?
Right.
When she's like, man, it would be nice to be able to walk to my kitchen and grab a fucking sandwich. Mm-hmm. It'd be nice. She was saying, I don't know, like we could talk about the chemo experience too. She was saying that she doesn't have feeling in her fingertips because the chemo fries her nerve cells. Mm-hmm. So she can type and shit, but she doesn't know if her fingers are actually hitting the keys. Mm-hmm. You know, like she loves playing cards and she can't play cards.
Yeah.
Like think about all the shit that you wish you could do and you no longer able to do them, right? And then fucking find a reason to complain.
Right.
You know? You don't have one, man.
Yeah, it's tough. For sure.
So talk to me about, because here's the other thing too, is I remember just like, I would come over to your crib every single day in high school. Yeah. It was like every single, and we would chill, like I would take a nap before practice and hang out. Like I'd be like, Mom, I'm not coming home today because I don't want to drive to school tomorrow, and I would just kick it at your crib and stuff, bro.
I remember that too.
Not one, and your mom was always wearing those like traditional Indian.
Her PJs, dude. It was like
those are PJs, like
onesies. I don't know what the fuck
Indian
it was.
Guards.
Yeah, it was just her fucking PJs.
Just hanging out,
kicking in there all day.
Talk to me about the. Well, that's the other thing too. Is like, so I would always see her around, and I would, to be honest, bro, I don't even know your mom's name.
Anupa.
Ann.
Everyone just called her Ann.
I didn't call her Ann. I would just call her Mom. I'm like, what up, Mom? You know what I'm saying? Or I'd be like, Mrs. Nagavalli. No, it'd be Mom.
Weird.
I was calling Mom. Like, what up, Mom? Don't even know her name, bro. Never asked. That's just kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Or it's just tremendous love, bro. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, my dad too. Every time.
Yeah.
He fucking
I just found
goes,
out your dad's name. Like I remember you texted me. You're like, yeah, Rom doesn't like it. I was like, motherfucker, who's Rom? Like I don't know who that dude is. Like my dad. I was like, oh, okay. I know him. I know him.
Yeah, you want to know about Indian fucking markets?
Yeah. But talk to me about like because it's now occurring to me that I don't really know your parents and that I never spent like time with them and like got to know them and stuff, and like now I feel fucking bad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, well, also like I thought that she would kind of always like be there because it just never occurred to me that shit was a problem.
And that to me is again like the most arrogant thought. I had the same thought even from day one to the end, like thinking like she's getting the best medical care that she can be anything because she's like a superhero in my eyes, you know. I'm not even considering the opportunity of that. This is gonna be like, this is go south.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like it went south I'm like, oh,
like
this is it, you know. Which again, like why I kind of justified like being a shell of myself, because I'm like, okay, like it'll just be this point, like this period in time where we weren't that tight, for when it's like all over to be like I could be like myself again.
When it's over.
Correct.
Oh.
So like this, why it's really like an issue is like
bro,
it never got to.
Because you were expecting something to happen.
Correct.
You were expecting that once it happened, everything would go back to normal. You would feel good. She'd be there for your fucking wedding.
Everything.
She'd be there for your graduation.
Yeah.
Your fucking kids.
Yeah.
Like all that shit. You like and
everything. Yep.
And then like you never even opened your mind to the possibility that she might not make it.
Correct.
It
and that was me telling
happened.
you, like, I try to be realistic about it, but I was just, I guess, so stubborn about like my reality was like, oh,
like
you know,
the denial was so real. The denial was so real where it's like, it's just not happening.
It's not. Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Yeah, because I mean, she was getting like all these experimental treatments that like they showed like great progress. So like every single time we get like report cards, it was like it was getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So like that just, you know, reinforced my belief that like she's gonna be fine. It was literally like so weird how rapidly it changed.
How did you, like, was she getting chemo?
Where it was in her lungs, she was able to get a chemo that was very catered towards her region.
Okay.
So it wasn't just like a full body chemo.
Yeah.
Like that's what like I assume your grandma's getting, you know, where
she's getting nuked.
Right.
And then she has to get like her stomach pumped and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like
my mom didn't have that.
It's not fun.
You know, she had a very like specific, again, catered towards where it was in her lungs. So she never got like the full, like she wasn't all fucked up. She never had to shave her head. Like she did lose some hair, but like it wasn't this like as gnarly as you probably have seen. And she was still able to like do stuff. Yeah. But again, her breathing was a little...
you didn't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't feel like there was a problem. Like not only were you like holding back your emotions, but you weren't watching it and feeling it. It's like she just looked normal. So you're like, okay, the perception is she's still normal and everything's cool.
Correct, but like it was just so tough because I knew what she had.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't battle that. Like the 9 months haunted me. Like every day.
Were you clicking?
I was just
was it checking? What happens when that 9 months hit?
I mean, that's when I just thought that, okay, like
it's over.
We got this.
We beat it. Yeah.
Right. What can an average be to bring it down to 9 months? Like if we make it 2 years, like you know, I assume people don't make it within the first couple months, so it's like, you know, making it 2 years, like it's just a matter of time when we find out like, oh, it's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, me not knowing shit about cancer, and also our oncologist, like all doctors want to give you the fucking optimistic look, right?
Well, they have to.
And I get
depression kills.
Again, yeah.
100%.
Right. But like that also makes like people start believing that way, right?
Well, they need to. Half it's at 75% is belief, bro.
And trust me, I know. Like I believed it too much, I guess.
Yeah, that's
but like it was also that
delusion.
I might have been delusional, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
the denial.
It was like a mix of like denial and knowing like, okay, like I'm gonna be a shell of myself for now, but like at some point it'll all end.
Break out.
And then when it all didn't, it took me like, again, like I say, I'm still trying to fucking get out of the shell, you know. It was like fucking weird.
So talk to me. So at this point, so your mom's still around, you're hanging out. You go off to Oregon, you go off to college, right?
Yeah.
and you're chilling there for a minute, and now you're not seeing her. Like, do you feel guilty for not being at home? Like,
I felt a lot of things, but I'd say one of the main things of like going to Oregon was relief. That I wouldn't have to like actively avoid being at home. I wasn't at home.
damn, this is crazy, bro.
But that soon turned into like very, very, very gnarly. Like, I don't know if it was the depression. Like, I have no idea because obviously I don't fucking talk about shit. You know, like,
Yeah.
whatever it was, I was homesick.
Yeah.
I would fly home every 3 weeks. Luckily, there was an airport in Eugene. It was like weird that I was going home that much for like other people, but I didn't care, you know? That was like what I was doing. So from like the moment of like going there, I was like stoked because that was my first time living on my own. I haven't been like a big partier or whatever like at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did what I could, but it was still like
it's different.
It was different, you know.
Yeah.
And now this is the first time I can make my own decisions.
Can't get wild and be like, what up?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I come
like,
home to my place
Yeah.
that like I can do what I want, and it's like I don't have this like feeling of like bad, like feeling bad all the time.
Guilty.
Of like
Yeah.
you know, like just being
for
home
enjoying
and
yourself.
exactly, you know, like just again, like every time I'd feel bad like seeing her, like I would feel
You feel guilty for living your life when you know your mom's life is running out.
correct, and it was like this weird battle, and it was
Or it's like you almost want to be like, it's okay, and I'm willing to bet that your mom is like, hey man, it's cool.
no. So she was so pumped. Like they dropped me off on the first day. You know, she's fucking crying. My dad, stone. He's fine. But she's obviously like she knows that had to happen, right?
Yeah.
This is just a progression.
Yeah. She still wants you to live your life, man. 'Cause
Correct.
that's the whole point of like at the end of the day, like goes back to having kids. You know, it's like is you want that kid to grow and thrive and flourish,
be on their own, be independent.
They're more important than you.
Yeah, but it's tough when you're on the other side of that, being me, like knowing,
Trying to enjoy it, yeah.
trying to enjoy it and knowing what I'm giving up.
Yeah.
Even though like it's like so weird because even though like I wasn't enjoying being at home, I was in proximity.
Mm-hmm.
That made me feel like secure and at least like I know what's going on. I'm not getting those like everyday updates that like I see visually when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
So like I didn't really know like how it was or how bad it got. I was at school. When I just got a call one day like, hey, like it got terrible. Yeah. You gotta get down here as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. And ever since like the visit to the hospital, it was.
So you weren't. So it's actually funny you said that because like I think there's good surprises and there's obviously like bad surprises. So when I went to college, I didn't see Buddy. I only saw him like periodically, like once a year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I came home one year and I was just like, holy shit.
And he's
huge.
He's what he's now, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is nutty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is a good surprise. Like, obviously yours is like, you're not seeing like the slow, like,
correct,
decline,
on the
right?
opposite of it.
And then meanwhile, you're at the bars getting fucking litty, going crazy and stuff. And then so what? You get a phone call when? Was it like a Tuesday or something?
It was, yeah. So I had it. So going back, I had an internship in San Jose. I was living there for like 7 weeks at this point, and it was I had 3 weeks left in my like spot. It was a Tuesday when I got a call, and it was like, "Yo, we're moving her to the hospital. We got to go down." So obviously,
this is like right after Lala.
Yeah, like 2 weeks after Lala.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Was it that year we went?
Yeah, because you said internship, and I remember you just being like saying you're moving on your internship.
Yes, I
did.
Like,
I'm not going to work,
so,
bro.
Yeah.
I gotta move
so I could go to Lala and JB's wedding.
Yeah.
Yep. So like 2 weeks after like the wedding, I flew home. She's getting transported to a hospital, and like what you see now, like people with like gnarly coronavirus, they're like on ventilators all the time. That was like her, but not in like the ICU. Mm-hmm. She had her own room, and they were like, giving her like oxygen and stuff. And she was at Hoag in Newport, where my aunt is a oncologist. That was like her oncologist.
So she's still alive?
What?
She's still alive at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
So
and you're at home right now?
I flew back for like a day or two, and then I'm like going back and forth like every day. Like it was like weird. Like I've never flown more in my life than that year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like going back and forth to San Jose, and home until I just had to pack all my stuff in San Jose. I literally like I was like subleasing a room. They hadn't even moved in. I literally left so much shit there. Just like told the kid like, hey, here's another $50. I'm sorry, I'm dealing with this. Like, if you can keep it if you want, throw it away, whatever. Here's $50.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to know any more than that. Also, I was like homies with the roommate.
Mm-hmm. Whatever, bro.
Yeah,
It's nice.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
So drive home, and at that point, I'm also trying to figure out, because it was like a 7-8 week process of hospitals. So school's starting in like 2-3 weeks, and I'm moving my shit from San Jose to Orange County. Or sorry, I took my stuff from San Jose to Eugene to drop all my shit in a storage unit. Moved all my stuff out from that old apartment because I'm supposed to move into a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Then drive all the way home, and I'm home for a couple weeks, and then school starting. So I fly back. Them thinking like I could do it, which at that point I saw the writing on the wall when she was like needing ventilators to stay, oxygen. Yeah, it was like gnarly. And did
you take the semester off or like?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean every day too, like being there. So in the other 3 years and 40 weeks, let's say, I saw improvement. It wasn't until the last couple that I saw rapid decline. So at that point, I did see
her body just gave up on her.
It was whatever.
And she
wasn't
kind of
working.
like, she's like, I'm kind of done, and she gave up on the fight.
I mean, so it was weird because like, I remember being there one day and they're like, "Oh, you have a gnarly tumor. We need to get you in your brain. We need to get you into surgery." Like,
in her brain?
Yeah.
So it grew, like the cancer like spread?
I have no idea how it ended up in her brain, but they were going to operate on her at Hogue. And it was like how they described it, it was like, I don't know what happened in like the day, but it was a miracle. We were fucking jumping for joy. We're cheering, fist bump, like it's all good. Brain tumor's gone. I'm like, it was like such a wild ride of like hope and like, oh fuck, this is what's actually happening. But yeah, so she's in Hogue till they ask her to go to UCLA, or my parents wanted to go to UCLA where her like experimental stuff was happening. And at the same time, I don't know like what drugs they needed to get. I don't really know the regimen of what they were doing. I was in Eugene. So by that time, I go back to Eugene. I didn't even register for classes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did, but I dropped them like after the first week, and I was just like there. I didn't know how to tell my parents like, yo, I'm not going to school right now. Like I can't. Like I'm not here. Like physically I was there, but mentally I was checked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until like the second week I was in the gym, and I get a text from my uncle or my dad like, hey, your mom's getting worse, like you need to fly home right now.
Yeah.
And I call my dad. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, just take the next flight.
Get on the flight.
Next flight out. So I just found the flight that would land the earliest. And I called my dad before, and he's like, oh yeah, your mom's just taking a nap. And by the time I land, I'm getting texts. I turn on my phone like, hey, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom. And I was pissed.
So people heard before before
my dad. My dad didn't even tell me. When he said she was taking a nap, she'd already gone. I still pissed to this day. Like, you couldn't have just told me.
I don't know, man. Like, you gotta step in his shoes, though.
I understand that, but I have the right to be pissed.
For sure.
I get it from his point. I'm flying. My first flight wasn't even south. My first flight was to Seattle to get on a connecting flight to go to John Wayne.
It's not only that, bro. It's more of like, it would be nice if I could tell you, and I could, like, if it's my kid, like, I would want to tell you and like look at your face and tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but still, I shouldn't have to hear it from other people.
Yeah, it's fucked up that you heard. I'm confused as to why other people heard before you preferred.
I'm sure it's just because also a lot of my family, they were going every day to the hospital. Like I'm talking like
we
had
it was like cousins or some shit.
We had to rent out like, or not rent out, like they had to give us like our own rooms. That's how many bodies we had, like for like my mom.
Yeah.
This is at Saddleback down in Mission too at this point. Mm-hmm. So like I'm sure one of the aunts told like my cousins, and I'm getting texts from my cousins, mainly my cousins, yeah. Like so sorry to hear about your mom, and like again denial. I'm like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about.
She's taking a nap.
It was in the exactly.
She's gonna be up. She's gonna be awake.
My dad told me she was taking a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the fucking back of the plane too. Like I'll never forget how long it felt for everybody to grab their shit and like leave the plane.
Damn, for real.
I just felt so congested. Like I'm in a fucking trap box and I need to like punch my way out of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was how I found out in the day it happened. It was October, let's say 6th, 2016.
Are you on you're on the plane, you get off, and you drive straight to the hospital?
No, they sent one of my cousins to pick me up from the hospital to go home because she was, I don't know where, in the morgue or whatever, the hospital morgue.
So you didn't get to see her?
Not until her funeral.
All right, so talk to me about like what it was like going home and like chilling with your pops like that night.
Again, like I said, like I'm trying to keep it as stone cold as possible, and all I feel is everybody's eyes looking at me,
you, and you're like, fuck.
And you're like, you know what they're thinking, like, oh my god, poor kid, like.
And you just want to feel normal, bro.
How can I exactly? And I'm like, dude, like, I don't even know how to process what happened, and everyone's already making me feel like looking at my reaction as if it's supposed to be some type of way. Yeah. And if it's not that, then I don't meet this like mold, and I'm like, I don't know how to act.
They want you to cry.
Right.
Because they want the satisfaction of knowing that you're in pain or something.
Yeah.
Right?
It was like,
so you not crying, and they're like, man, this dude didn't give a fuck about his mom.
Something's wrong with him. You know? I'm like, no, like my mom literally told me, when I die, do not cry. Yeah. Obviously, there were some times, you know, here and there I fucking did. Yeah. But it was never like, it was like once I got back to Eugene. Mm-hmm. Like the time I was home, it did not happen. Mm-hmm. That's a lie. Probably a couple times. Mm-hmm. But again.
You little bitch.
Yeah, dude. Huge bitch. That day, though, it was nothing. I remember I told Hunter Crane. He came over, bought like a bunch of In-N-Out burgers. Dope. And a bottle of vodka. Dope. I'm like, thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Needed that.
Exactly, you know. They're just chilling in my room.
You're just hanging out. And he wasn't talking about
it.
Exactly.
It was like, he handled it exactly how I would want to handle like one of my friends having to deal with that. Yeah. Just treat me normally, dude.
That's what my mom says. My mom is always like, she's like, I don't know, like when shit goes wrong in relationships or when something happens or whatever it is, when somebody's hurting, she's like, don't bring it up. They'll bring it up when they're ready. Yeah. You know?
Also the worst, dude, like it still pisses me off to this day. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry for your loss. Like, hit me up if you ever need anything. Yeah. Like what sad person is like, bro, you gonna reach out themselves. I'm like, at least not me.
Venmo be $500. Yeah. I need that money.
Oh, bro. Yeah, I remember. That's that.
What I need.
Remember
That's what I fucking
need. Yeah. Yeah, money to go do shit. Mm-hmm. Like, get my mind off of this. Yeah.
All right. So back in Eugene, and what you spent all the time, and how you handling it like for like the first like year or so.
Oh, I fucking partied.
All right.
I got my mind off of it any way I could. And I didn't even realize like that's what I was doing.
You're just knocking out the conscious.
I was just doing it without even knowing, you know. It's just not until looking back I'm like, damn, yeah, like, there was no reason.
You just didn't want to think about it, bro. And you knew that every time you were sober, you would have to deal with some of those emotions. So instead what you did is you pumped yourself with so much fucking synthetic feelings.
I mean, it's crazy though, because like I would say that time is the worst time to be going through some shit, because there's a hard line of like kids partying to have fun,
and kids
and I'm blending in with the kids partying to have fun. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything different. Yeah, but really I am, you know, because like I was partying to have fun before, but after it was not having fun anymore. I was doing it like because I fucking needed to.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like that's something that like I've obviously talked about too. Is like there is a line, and the line is fucking very blurry, and you don't know where you stand on the line, right? Until some shit kind of happens to where you're just like, oh damn, I was on the wrong side of the line. Because when all your friends are like, yo, let's get fucked up, let's rage, let's do this, blah blah, and like, oh, you're being soft or whatever it is, you're just like, fuck man, we're doing it, right? And then like when nobody's around and you're just like, all right, bro, I'm just gonna do like a little bit right here just because I'm trying to feel a little bit better, and you're doing it by yourself. That's when shit gets kind of weird, you know. You're just like, I need to check myself now.
So that's actually exactly what happened to me. Like, obviously I still like party, but it is like now I don't drink on my own. Like this whole fucking virus thing. I've had a beer. You know, that's Hunter's birthday, but you know, there are times. But there was this time I had this sick fucking mirror. It was like this rectangular mirror where I, you know, chopping up lines.
Just by yourself?
No. The mirror was for chopping up lines.
All right.
But there was I had a final at like 8 a.m. And, you know, I was cramming all night, but I needed some sleep. So I set my alarm for 4 a.m.
Yep.
I wake up at 4 a.m. and my first thought is like, you know, I grab a coffee.
It's not working.
It's not enough.
Yeah. Speed. I need Adderall.
Yeah. I'm fucking chopping up a line. I still have the card that I use for like that shit.
Yeah.
A JW Marriott black key, card key. Chopping it up on the fucking mirror. My light's on. It's 4:20 a.m. at this point. And the worst thing for me, I mean, I guess it was like the best thing, was having a reflection of myself and seeing what the fuck am I doing at 4:20 in the morning.
That's real.
And I was by myself to finish studying for a final. And it took me till then. I'm like,
you're doing a line to finish studying for a final.
I need to fucking chill, dude. Like, oh my god, what am I? This is not what I want to be.
Who
like,
am I?
You know, like this is not like cool. It's not.
When I write the story of my life,
like
I can't wait.
If there were eyes on my wall, someone would be like, you shouldn't be doing this. And it took until then. I'm just staring at myself. I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I did that line.
Yeah, well, of course.
But after that, it was chopped up. After 100%. That, like I'm not gonna say I'm sober by any means, but I don't
calm down.
I don't go looking out just to like get out of my mind. You know, like when stuff happens, it happens. But I'm not like constantly looking for like reasons or like ways to get out of there. You know.
You feel like to like get out of your own head.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're kind of just like living with the emotions, and like you've emotionally evolved to the point where it's kind of a situation where like when you're starting to feel these things, you're like, all right, I'm feeling this. It's okay. I understand what I'm feeling. It's gonna pass.
Right.
I don't need to fucking
resort to anything to get out of my head. It's chill.
100%. I think that's like a beautiful thing too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy getting in my own head, but like actually for pleasure, you know. Like I found a line for myself. Everyone's lines might be different. You found your own line.
Mine's much stronger, bro.
Right. Like I don't have like this. Like I don't think, maybe if someone might tell me, like I don't feel like I have an addiction to anything. It goes like I truly don't do anything unless there's a reason to do something, you know. And that's how it's been for the last couple of years. So
okay, so talk to me about, so you're partying. When did you decide to just jump on a jet and go to Europe and just kick it out there?
That was so I had my cousin, who you met actually, in London. She was graduating from med school. So I knew I had to go to London anyway to go wish her like congratulations, and she had her ceremony. My dad met up there, but it was like I'm already gonna be in London for 4 days. Yeah, I don't got shit else going on for the summer. Like, fuck it, I'm going on a Europe trip. I mean, I've been to Europe before, but there were definitely some places that I hadn't been. So I looked up, you know, where I might want to go. Found Budapest, the Czech Republic, Greece, and Sweden, Stockholm. That was probably a 4-month planned thing. I had some buddies that like wanted to come, and I already booked all my shit. I sent him like all the things I booked. Here's the price. He's like, no shot. I'm like, okay. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, you know.
So, okay. So 2 things. One, talk to me about the feeling, because you mentioned it before, and I want to make sure you hit on it, of your mom died, and then you immediately got this fuck the world YOLO attitude where it's just like you sometimes you just get unlucky and you roll the dice and you lose, right? Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about that and how you kind of like went about like living your life post your mom, this happening to your moms, you know.
So again, it's a very inefficient way to live because you make decisions not balancing out the consequences. But I was a sender. Like if an idea came up that was very irresponsible for me to do, that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember going to Coachella like the year after. I had 2 finals on that Monday.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fly home till Monday itself. I said, fuck it.
I might die tomorrow.
I'm gonna figure it out. I wasn't thinking about long term. Like, yo, I need to do good.
Your life became very short term, very quickly.
Short term, very quick.
Dude, that's important. Hold on, I want to jump on this.
Reward system that I needed instantly, all the time.
So I think legitimately, and this is super important, when you come from a place where there is no hope, right? Like you come from the cut, or you come from like a third world country or something, right? And around you, people are just dropping like flies. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're happy if you see another birthday.
Right.
And that's absolutely crazy. This like new like YOLO or the old like fucking YOLO adage, right? Where it's just like, yeah, that's scary to think about, because for someone like me and you, obviously we've always been in situations where we never had to worry about the next day or like the next year. Like we're like, I know I'm gonna be here tomorrow unless some crazy shit happens to me, you know? But kids who grew up in that environment, like I can totally understand why their whole life just gets shrink like that. And you've had a similar experience as that, where it's just like, damn, like I've seen death, I've been close to it now I'm living for this present moment and in this like specific time frame.
Yeah. And I did that for like 2 years where I mean, it was almost like I enjoyed doing the irresponsible thing.
Yeah.
Or it was just because there was an opportunity of like making memories that I couldn't care what the consequences were, because I would figure that out later. It was a later problem. I just looked at everything that I would be missing as a later problem. And I mean, I had a fuck ton of fun, you know. Like it's not like I'm disappointed about it now. Because I believe that everything works out, you know, the way it should, like, or whatever. Especially for me at the time. Like, if I didn't do that, like, I don't know if I'd be here. Yeah. Because that was a huge release for me for a long, long time. Yeah. Where I was just free. It's
part of the process.
I felt free. You know, I wasn't constrained by this, like, by everything, by real world things. Everything I did, too, was with, like, my closest friends who never made me feel different.
Alone.
Exactly. Like,
pitied.
Exactly. And if I didn't have that, dude, like, oh fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. So
it's part of like the natural process of healing. At what point did the kind of the denial and the anger break down, and the acceptance and the understanding come in? You know, what did that feel like? Talk to me about that.
So the acceptance came in like pretty quickly after that. Quickly, like it took me about 6 months before I stopped having like these random like days where I was just crying, or moments I was crying, you know. But I did try to lock that shit up. But probably took me about 6 months. But then again, like I look back at like how I acted, and that shit haunted me to this day. Again, like thinking about like back then, like how I was with her, being like, this will pass. I can be very self-centered and not want to, you know, be around that. And that to me is like something that I had to get a whole nother like deal with on its own. But like in terms of just living without my mom, it took me about 6 months. But that was just like in terms of like knowing like, okay, this is actually like, it has to move forward without, you know, because for a long time I was like, oh, it's over. You know, like I don't know how to do it. But then 6 months, you just kind of figure it, you know, you got to move on. Yeah. I try to move on as quick as possible. I think that me trying so hard
made it worse.
Prolonged it.
It's like fucking comedy, bro. Yeah. The funnier you try to be, the more you bomb.
Yeah. It's, you know, like, but again, I didn't know any better. I didn't talk to anybody. I was dealing with all that on my own.
Talk to me about...
My dad was dealing with it on his own.
Yeah, man.
We weren't communicating
how was it like that for him?
I have no idea. I still haven't talked to him about it.
Oh, word?
It just, again, we never had that, like, emotional, like, communication.
Might be time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought about this, like,
you ain't got fucking siblings, bro.
Yeah,
might fucking want to figure it out.
I totally agree. It's just, like, tough for me. I don't even know how to fucking bring it up. Like,
hey, man, I want to talk about mom. That's how you bring that shit up.
Again.
Literally like that. You literally pour him a glass of fucking scotch, whatever he likes.
That's the last thing I want to do for him.
Whatever, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't need that.
Yeah.
He just get angry.
Oh, really?
He's a lot cooler when he's sober.
Oh, damn.
He's a sick dude when he's sober.
That's fucking real.
Yeah, but he definitely picked up drinking. And he's fucking dick when he's drunk. It's like that Drake song. Like, he was like, he's like a cool guy when he's fucking not drinking. I can't even remember the song now.
You can't even pull it. It's like the Drake song. The lyrics. I don't fucking, obviously the Drake song.
We can cut that
out. Yeah.
But,
right.
But it might be time. I should definitely have a mature,
just a real conversation
with my dad. It's just, I don't know.
That's some shit that I've been doing with my pops now. Is like, now that I'm older, he's starting to tell me because we're 25 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we forget. I didn't know my dad till 24. Realistically, I wasn't conscious of my dad till like he was 31. You know?
Yeah.
So there's about 30 years of life that he's lived that I know nothing about.
Right.
Like fuck ton nothing about.
Yeah. I mean, it's even because out of that 31 years, he only remembers 1% of it.
Yeah.
That you could even get from him.
Yeah.
You know?
And I only remember whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I only see the side of him that he showed me.
Yeah.
We forget that they're like completely
their own people.
Autonomous
they're not
people.
Just parents.
Yeah, that went through shit, right?
Yeah.
So like the cool thing for me is like I've been really talking to him and just be like, yo man, like let me hear your story. And as he's telling him, I'm just like, oh shit, like you're just like me. You went through this. You went through the same shit I went through.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Who would have known? You know. And like they knew. Like low key, like for example, like my little brother right now. I'm like, yo, bro. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna do this. You're gonna do X, Y, and Z. He not listening, right? Sure. I know in fucking 2-3 years, you're like, hey man, you were right. I'm like, I know, little bitch. Next time, fucking pay attention, man. I'm trying to give you the map.
Yeah, but he got to figure it out on his own.
He's got to go through it on his own.
You can take a horse with water.
100%. Obviously, I don't know the relationship with your pops, man. But how well do you know him? That's what I would ask you. How? Because I thought I knew my dad fucking well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I fucking know my dad well at all. Like,
after spending the past 2 months with him, like now I know him well.
Yeah,
I did not know him well until like 25.
It's weird though, because I did see a therapist one time, and she was like, I was like explaining like, yeah, like my whole life, like it's always been like for us to be like focused on like one thing of like moving forward, and like not really like them wanting to even share that, and I just like a super like Southeast Asia like thing, like a bunch of Indian culture, like it's not very, it's like welcoming to like family, but in terms of like communicating like these past experiences and like getting to really know someone, we just don't
sharing history isn't big.
Yeah, it's just not a thing. Like it's so weird that like it's like Indian culture I know specifically is like that. Like when I talk to my cousin, who's like the closest thing I have to a blood brother, his parents don't fucking know him at all.
No word.
Like at all. And I'm like, he's a unique guy, you know. He's, you know, very unique. But I'm like your parents are like missing out on the fact that like they don't really know you. Like I don't even know him like as well as I'm sure like his really close buddies do, because again he's like different. Yeah. But like, you know, it's not a bad thing to be different. It's just like I don't have as much.
He's like you making it sound like he's like gay or something, or like
no. He's just like
he's a quirky dude.
He's a quirky dude, like way more intelligent than like any of my friends.
Damn,
like,
that hurts.
I'm being honest. Like he's probably not.
That's enough. Thank you guys for coming.
I'm just saying, like again, I grew up with him. Maybe I just look at him as like this like genius, but like he's always been like smarter than everybody in the room. Yeah. And it's like if he was just like an alpha, he would crush, dude. But he's a beta minus.
Oh no, yeah, he's an omega, bro.
And it's like,
come on,
man.
If
he was just,
come on, man, you got it.
I'm not kidding.
You're the guy.
He would be a billionaire.
He's the one at Google,
huh?
He's the one at Google.
He works in the Bay. But he got his master's from Cornell. Like crushed everything he did. Never got 1B his whole time there. The rest of the time he got A's. Like his high school record was
flawless. Valedictorian.
He no, but he went to a prep school, so they had a bunch.
So they're all like that.
Yeah, but he got if you remember, the max on a SAT was 2400.
Yeah.
He got I was there when he found out he got a 2380.
Damn.
And his mom, the first thing she asked is, when you retaking it, I was like,
bitch, you take it. Dude, you take the fucking test.
100%. He got a 36 on the ACT, and she just wanted him to have both, like, perfect. But he, like, again, like, the smartest kid I've ever known, but he's quirky. He doesn't like normal.
That's why he's a beta, man, because his fucking mom sucks.
She's
there ain't no happy moments. That's expectations, bro.
Yeah. She's like,
expectation is to be perfect.
I didn't even think about that, dude.
How the expectation is to be perfect.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I gonna be perfect, mom?
Right. I definitely think that he like almost rebelled from that and like,
he's like
chooses not to be like
not to be sick.
Because
they want him to be sick. I'm like, I'm not gonna be sick.
His dad is super like
hanging out.
His dad like he knows his son is like smart. He's gonna survive throughout whatever, regardless of his personality. But his mom is like different for sure. But it's different culture. She's Chinese, like straight from Taiwan. And their culture is just like hard, dude.
Yeah.
Hard. Especially so she had a kid. God, I'm telling you so much fucking personal shit. That's
what it is, bro.
She had a kid.
But like, it's freeing. It's fucking freeing.
Yeah, I mean, so she had a kid in her previous whatever. He's like significantly older. God, never see this, but he's like a loser. Like he's caused like his mom like a lot of stress because he just can't figure his shit out. So he's like 40. So
she feels like
I think she put the pressure. I think she put the pressure of like
all her past transgressions.
Exactly, just like on my cousin, which I feel terrible about. But it's too late now, you know.
Bro, the crazy thing is
how he's shaped.
The crazy thing is, man, is like being somebody who studies deep psychology and stuff like that. It's like why these things happen, right? And it's so obvious why these things are happening and what's going on. Like you can tell me like your whole family dynamic.
Yeah.
And within the first 45 to like hour of it, I'll just be like, all right, man, like why is it going on? This is because of this. Okay. I can kind of like at least guess where I think this kid is going to end up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a 25-year-old kid. How are not more people not able to do that? You know, to me, it just seems like a logical, like a straightforward kind of pattern.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously, there's gonna be
there's variations. Like there's some shit you can't account for, right? But generally, it's just like you got two options, right? So for example,
there's a reason that psychopaths, the FBI did a whole fucking research on to make like serial killers. They fit a mold. Because like anybody else, 100%. You fit a mold to like what you could be, like in the future. You know,
some people break out the mold, some people break out the stereotypes, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But like the thing is like the mold and the model exist.
Right.
So if I'm a parent, you know what I'm saying, and I know that my kid might snap and break, maybe I don't want to do that to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, like every parent has their own experience. Like you said, insecurities on the parents. You'll reflect in the kid. Like, even if you know what could fuck your child up, you're not even going to think about it when it's like your child and like you're doing shit that you don't even think about doing, you know? You're not consciously like aware that you're putting all this amounts of pressure, no pressure, whatever it is, you know? So every parent dealt with their own life.
They're doing the best they can.
Which I hate that saying though, because like, I don't think anybody is really doing the best that they can. You know,
motherfucker, I am.
You're trying.
I'm trying to do the best I can.
Right, but then tomorrow you're gonna think of a way to do better.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're doing the best you can in the moment, but
that's all you can do, right?
But I don't believe that that's true for everybody.
I agree.
You know, like a lot of parents might think they're doing the best they can, but like really. So it's like,
the
issue is the best for each child is different, right? Some kids might need a
kick in the ass. Some kids might need like more soft
nurture. Some kids might need more nurture, more hugs, more fucking attention.
Right.
While others just need a book.
Yeah.
You know, like it just While some might need, it's just different. It's so tough to fucking put anybody in a mold when they're little children. Like what? I don't fucking know.
All right, well, cool, man. We've been at it for an hour and 40. I'm fucking gassed. Like Jesus. I told you, you can't be doing this before. Like, imagine trying to go and play game night after this.
No kidding.
You're not doing it.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want you to leave people with is I think that all of us have like a core principle or like a core foundation for how we kind of live our lives and who we want to be and how we want the world to view us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So give me either the core principle that you follow or give me the lesson that you learned that has really, really helped shape your life and who you are. So like for an example for me. It's a deep one, right?
Deep one.
But it's important. It's gonna require you to think.
On the spot too.
So, like, for example, for me, like, it's heart, right? That's like my number one. It's about heart, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the biggest in the room. I'm not going to be the fastest on the field. I'm not going to be the strongest in the weight room, whatever. Like, you know, I'm not going to be the smartest in school, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm willing to bet that if it's me or you, you know what I'm saying? And my life depends on me doing this one thing, right? I'm going to outwork you. Mm-hmm. It's about heart.
Yeah.
I care about it more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, give me, like, an example of, like a foundation that you base your life on.
So, my biggest thing is, like, I hate materialism.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is, like, in this life, the only thing I want is, like, connections. Like, real-ass connection, not, like, fake, made-up, like, bullshit. I hate
like
the
bullshit.
bullshit.
Cool culture.
Exactly. Like, everything I said to you, I've been like, very real about.
Oh, you got 5,000 followers? Cool. Let's be fucking friends. I got 7,000.
It doesn't matter about your fucking followers. You know, it's about who you are. Like,
it's not about money. It's not about what you're driving.
Exactly. Everyone came from something, and like, if you have real ass feelings and like views, like, I can be cool with anybody, and I would hope anybody could like talk to me. But the most important thing is like weeding out like the fake ass shit in this life and like just actually making connections. And that probably genuinely stems from me not having siblings.
Yeah.
But that is like the most important thing in my life is like having meaningful relationships. Because you learn, for me, I learn more from that than anything else that I can read, see for myself. Like it's just everyone's experiences, talking about it in a real format. I think I learned the most from that. And that's like the most important thing in my life are creating and maintaining like important relationships.
Bad man. That's why I think you're the connector. That's the other thing I want to talk about before we leave. Fuck, bro. I'll chop this up so it looks like it's in front of it. Talk to me about being like the connector of the group where everybody communicates through you, bro.
Okay. So I'll be honest. I know I act like it's annoying sometimes, but I love it. Yeah. Like I like when people have to hit me up.
Value, bro. You're providing value.
Exactly.
Like that's, I'm providing value.
Yeah, that's I mean that's my role.
It's a powerful position.
Being as like what I just explained, like connections being like the most important thing. I want as many people that I'm close with to be together at one time, all the time.
Point guard.
Exactly. So if you know I have to be the one to arrange something, like fuck, I'll do it. I don't care because I'm fucking happy to. If everyone actually fucking accepts and comes, I'm happy to do it.
You know what pisses me off the most is when motherfuckers don't reply to my text messages. If you leave me on red, I fucking hate you. Yeah. I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like if you leave me on red enough times, you'll never get a text from me again in your life. Yeah. I promise you that.
No, that is...
You can send me like 6 text messages and I'll just be like who, new phone, who this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker, I'm pissed now, you know? Because, dude, one thing that kills, like, let's say you got concert tickets, right? You got concert tickets. And you're like, hey, man, I got these concert tickets. Somebody bailed out, or like, I would like you to go. You know what I'm saying? That's a time-sensitive issue, right? It would be nice if you just replied, hey, man, I'm busy tonight. I can't go. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I just need to know so I can move on to the next. Because what happens is like, you don't reply. I invite somebody else. They accept the tickets. And then all of a sudden you reply now, and now I got to be the asshole and be like, look, man, you didn't reply quick enough, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one example, but like...
No, I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, and that definitely something I have learned is like communication is like so fucking big because like...
Over-communicate.
If you can't... Yeah, you would hurt someone's feelings more by fucking avoiding replying back than if you just said, hey, I can't. You're grown. We're all grown. I mean, maybe when you're a kid,
adult,
be a grown,
like, hey,
I can handle that. If you honestly, like, hey, I got other plans, like, obviously if you're fucking lying too, like, that's... unnecessary. Like, even if you don't want to go, just say, hey, I don't want to go. Yeah, that I would respect that. You know, just be honest.
It's just like cool, man. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad for asking. I'm not gonna not invite you to the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
Just like, hey, I don't feel like going. Like, can we reschedule? Can we do something later?
Yeah,
like, cool.
I would just like you because then the worst thing is, right, because then you got people who like they'll see you having a good time and they'll be like, man, why wasn't I invited? And it's just like, bro, I probably would have invited you, but you don't respond to fucking text messages. Yeah. So I ain't inviting you to shit no more.
Right. You lost your chance.
Yeah, I gave you the opportunity. Now I'm the asshole. No. So just people, just reply to people's messages. Be like, hey man, can't go. Just
just be honest. Yeah, be honest. You're not hurting anybody's feelings.
All right, bro. Bet. Thank you for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
This is Stories with Sid.
And Koosh.
Cool, man. Thank you.